The bus comes every night, but it never takes you where you think. The bus stop does not appear suddenly. It settles into the world the way tired thoughts do. Quietly, without asking permission, a man notices it on an evening that already feels too long. The sky is dim but not dark. Shops are closing with familiar sounds. Keys turn. Lights flicker off. Everything is normal. That is why the bus stop feels wrong. It stands where the road should continue. A single bench, paint peeling in thin, tired strips. A metal pole with a sign that once held a number, now blank, as if the number decided to leave. Behind it, a timetable protected by cracked glass. No destinations, no times, just empty rows. The man slows without meaning to. He tells himself he is just curious, that he has probably walked past it before and simply forgotten. That thought should comfort him. It doesn't. He checks his phone. No signal. The battery is full. The time is exact. Nothing is broken. That makes the silence heavier. He sits on the bench. The wood is warm. Not sun warm, not recently painted warm, body warm, as if someone stood up moments ago and left in a hurry. The man looks around. No footsteps, no voices, no sign of anyone else. Still the bench holds heat. Breathing feels louder here. Each inhale sounds like it travels farther than it should. Each exhale lingers, refusing to disappear. Then the thoughts arrive. Not suddenly, patiently. A phone call he ignored 2 years ago because he was too busy. A job he never left because it paid well enough to justify staying unhappy. A sentence he almost said once. Almost. But didn't. Because it would have changed things. The thoughts don't accuse him. They simply stand in front of him, waiting to be acknowledged. Footsteps approach. A woman stops near the bus stop, confused by the same certainty he felt. She carries shopping bags. They look heavy, but she cannot remember buying anything inside them. She sits at the far end of the bench. Their shoulders do not touch. It feels important that they don't. They exchange a brief nod. No greeting. Words feel unnecessary here. Minutes pass, or something like minutes. A boy appears next, too young to look this tired. His school bag hangs loosely from one shoulder, lighter than it should be. He stands for a moment, as if expecting someone to call him back. No one does. He sits on the ground instead of the bench. The bench does not object. The old man arrives last. He carries nothing. No phone, no bag, no keys. His hands are empty, because he stopped carrying proof of his life long ago. When he reaches the bus stop, he exhales slowly, not in relief, in recognition. This place, he says quietly, waits well. No one asks what he means. They already understand. The timetable rustles. The man stands and steps closer. The glass reflects his face faintly, as if unsure whether to include him. The empty rows are no longer empty. Words have appeared, not destinations. Admissions. Stayed too long, left too early. Chose nothing, waited for permission. The woman looks away. Her eyes sting, but she does not cry. The boy presses his lips together, as if holding something in. The old man nods. Satisfied. The air changes. Not colder, not warmer. Complete. Then the space beside the bus stop fills. There is no engine sound. No headlights. The bus is simply there, as if it has always been waiting for the stop to be ready. The doors are already open. Inside, the light is steady and soft. The kind meant for people who are tired, but not finished. The driver does not turn around. He doesn't need to. The man stands. His legs feel lighter, as if gravity has adjusted itself slightly in his favor. The first step onto the bus removes something. He cannot name what it is, only that his chest feels quieter. Behind him, the bench begins to cool. Slowly, patiently, the bus stop is already preparing for the next person who realizes they are tired of waiting for a life that never comes on its own. The doors close without sound, not a click, not a hiss, just the quiet certainty of something finished. Inside the bus, the air feels different, not stale, not fresh, balanced, as if the air has been measured carefully to carry exactly the weight of the people inside it. The lights above do not flicker. They do not hum. They simply exist, soft enough to forgive tired eyes. The man sits by the window. The seat molds around him slowly, not uncomfortably, accurately. It feels like the bus knows how he has been sitting through life, leaning forward, always ready to move, never fully resting. Here, his shoulders drop, without asking permission. Across from him, the woman holds her hands together. Her shopping bags are gone. She does not remember setting them down. That bothers her for a moment, then stops mattering. She realizes something important has happened. She no longer feels the need to justify herself. The boy sits near the back. His feet do not touch the floor. He swings them gently, out of habit, then stops. The movement feels unnecessary here. He looks out the window. The street outside is moving, but it isn't passing. It's folding. Scenes layer over each other. His school hallway, his bedroom ceiling at night, his parents' voices behind a closed door. Not memories, possibilities, lives that could have happened if something small had gone differently. The old man sits closest to the front. He does not look at the windows. He has already seen enough. Instead, he watches the driver. The driver's reflection shifts in the glass, never settling, sometimes young, sometimes old, sometimes familiar enough to make the old man's chest tighten. The bus moves smoothly, no vibration, no sense of speed, yet something is clearly being left behind. The man presses his forehead lightly against the glass. A scene forms outside. Himself, 5 years younger, standing in an office doorway, mouth open, words ready, never spoken. The scene does not accuse him. It simply waits to see if he will speak this time. He pulls back. The scene dissolves. Something inside him loosens. The woman's window shows a kitchen. Late night, dirty dishes, a quiet argument that never became loud enough to be resolved. She feels anger rise, then fade. The emotion slips away gently, like a coat taken off indoors. She does not miss it, not yet. The boy sees himself older, not happy, not broken, just empty. He swallows hard. For the first time since boarding, fear arrives. He grips the edge of his seat. The bus does not react. It never interferes. A soft voice finally breaks the silence. Not loud, not commanding. The driver speaks, without turning around. "You are not being taken anywhere," he says. No one answers. No one needs to. "You are being relieved." The man feels it then. A small absence, not painful. Clean, like a knot undone that he forgot he was carrying. He tries to remember what it was. He can't. Outside, the bus stop fades completely, not vanishing, becoming irrelevant. The bench cools all the way. The timetable clears itself. The bus continues, not forward, not backward, deeper. The boy closes his eyes. He does not want to see what comes next. Somewhere inside the bus, something listens carefully to that fear and remembers it. The bus does not stop. It slows, not in movement, but in intention. The air grows heavier by a small, careful degree, as if the bus has begun measuring what each passenger can afford to lose. The lights dim slightly, not enough to darken the bus. enough to make the edges softer. The man notices first. The quiet inside him deepens, but something else stirs beneath it. An unease, not fear. Anticipation. He looks at his hands. They seem lighter, not weaker, less occupied. He tries to think of the job he once wanted, the one he dreamed of late at night, before choosing safety instead. The image slips, not erased, unreachable, like a word on the tip of the tongue. That refuses to arrive. His chest tightens, then releases. The woman feels it next. She presses her fingers together, trying to summon anger. It had been there her whole adult life. Sharp, familiar, protective. Now it feels distant, muted. She searches for resentment, the way one might search for a missing ring. Panic rises briefly. Then the panic softens. The bus does not steal emotions violently. It unhooks them. The boy's breath becomes shallow. He hugs his bag to his chest. He remembers his mother's voice calling his name. Not in anger, in fear. The memory flickers. The sound fades first, then the urgency. "What are you doing?" he whispers. The bus does not answer. The old man smiles faintly. He has been waiting for this part. "You've reached the exchange," he says quietly, more to himself than to them. The man turns toward him. "Exchange?" he asks. The old man nods. "You don't ride this bus for free." The driver speaks again. Each word lands gently, but with precision. "What weighs you down?" he says. "Cannot come with you." The windows change. They no longer show possibilities. They show costs. The man sees a version of himself, standing confidently, free of doubt, and realizes the price was his longing. The woman sees herself calm, unburdened, at the cost of her anger, the thing that once protected her. The boy sees safety, at the cost of his fear, the very thing that warned him. "No," the boy says softly. This time the bus listens, not stopping, but noticing. The floor vibrates faintly. The lights flicker once. The driver's reflection steadies. "Not everything can be chosen," the driver says, "but some things can be resisted." The boy grips his seat harder. He does not know how. He only knows he must try. The man closes his eyes. He feels lighter than ever, and suddenly understands the danger of that. The woman senses the same thing. Relief without roots, peace without depth. The bus continues. The exchange has begun, not finished, just begun. Somewhere far behind them, an empty bench waits, cool, patient, unchanged. And somewhere ahead, the bus prepares to ask, who is willing to pay everything, to stop hurting? The bus shudders, not from motion, but from disagreement. It has taken many passengers before. It has never been questioned this early. The boy's resistance settles into the air, thin but sharp, like a crack in glass that has not spread yet. The windows darken. They no longer show scenes clearly. They show reflections. Each passenger sees themselves as they are now, lighter, calmer, and strangely unfinished. The man feels the absence grow. He tries to remember why he once woke up early, heart racing with purpose. That feeling is gone. In its place is quiet efficiency. He realizes with sudden clarity, the bus is not healing him. It is simplifying him. "Can we go back?" he asks. His voice sounds distant, as if spoken from another room. The driver does not turn. "There is no back," he replies. "Only before." The woman presses her palms together. She feels peaceful, too peaceful. The edge she sharpened herself on for years, the anger that kept her standing, has almost dissolved. She imagines herself returning home like this, calm, compliant, easier to live with. The thought frightens her. The boy stands. His legs tremble, but they hold. "I don't want to forget," he says. The words feel heavy in his mouth, as if the bus is already testing their weight. The old man watches him carefully. Hope stirs in his eyes, not for escape, but for interruption. The bus slows further. The hum beneath the floor deepens. Outside, the world is no longer layered. It is blank, a soft, endless gray. The driver exhales. The sound carries history. "This is where most people stop resisting," he says. Relief is persuasive. The man swallows. He understands now. This bus offers an easier version of life, one without sharp edges, without longing, without the ache of almost. It offers peace by removing the parts that reach. "What happens if we stay?" the woman asks. The driver pauses. "Then you will arrive," he says. "And if we don't?" the boy asks. The bus shudders again, harder this time. The lights dim. For a brief moment, the driver's reflection shows fear. No one has asked that in a long time. The driver says quietly. The bus slows to nearly nothing. Not a stop. A hesitation. Somewhere ahead. A choice is forming. Not announced. Not explained. Behind them, far beyond reach, the bus stop sharpens into focus. The bench remains empty. The timetable holds a single line now. You can still choose. The bus waits. And for the first time, it is not certain. What will happen next? The bus does not move. It hasn't stopped. It has paused. There is a difference. The gray outside the windows thickens. Like fog deciding whether to become solid. Sound feels distant now. Even breathing seems optional. The pause stretches long enough for thoughts to finish forming. That is dangerous here. The driver finally turns his head. Not fully. Just enough for his profile to exist. His face is ordinary. Too ordinary. The kind of face you forget. Even while looking at it, "I should explain," he says. His voice is not tired. It is practiced. This bus was built for people who couldn't carry themselves anymore. He continues. Not because they were weak, because they were overloaded. The man listens carefully. Something in him recognizes the tone. The way companies explain downsizing. The way doctors explain side effects. Truth, arranged to sound gentle. You call it escape, the driver says. Some call it mercy. The woman stiffens. And you? She asks. The driver is silent for a moment. I call it balance. The old man finally speaks again. You're lying, he says calmly. The word does not accuse, it clarifies. The driver's reflection flickers. You're not taking pain, the old man continues. You're taking choice. The bus hum deepens, as if offended. The driver's eyes meet the old man's in the mirror. You knew, the driver says. The old man nods. I rode once, he replies. Long ago. The man turns sharply toward him. You've been here before? The old man smiles sadly. Long enough to get off, he says. And long enough to regret it. The boy steps forward. What happens when we arrive, he asks. The driver looks at him fully now. For you, he says, you become safe. The boy swallows. And everything else? The driver hesitates, then answers honestly. Everything else becomes quiet. The woman feels it clearly now. The bus is not evil. That makes it worse. It offers a clean solution to a messy thing. No arguments, no failure, no trying again, just removal. People don't come back, do they? The man asks. The driver shakes his head. They don't want to, he says. The bus hum rises. The gray outside begins to thin. Ahead something waits. Not a place. An outcome. The boy feels fear again. Sharp. Alive. He clings to it. It hurts. He understands now why the bus wants it gone. I don't want quiet, the boy says. The words land heavy. The bus shudders violently. Lights flicker. For the first time, the driver looks afraid. No, he whispers. Not here. Because somewhere behind them, the bus stop brightens. The bench sharpens. The timetable waits. And the bus remembers something it was never meant to remember. That relief only works when no one asks for their pain back. The bus lurches, not forward, not backward, sideways, as if reality itself has shifted its footing. The hum beneath the floor turns uneven. The steady balance the bus depends on has been disturbed. The boy's fear, raw, unfiltered, hangs in the air like a spark that refuses to go out. The driver grips the wheel. His hands are shaking. You don't understand what you're asking for, he says. And for the first time, his voice is not calm. I do, the boy replies. His knees tremble, but his eyes don't. I'm scared, he says. That means I still care what happens next. The words cut deeper than shouting ever could. The windows crack, not breaking, just enough to let something through. Sound. Real sound. A dog barking far away. A door slamming. Laughter. Brief, imperfect, human. The woman gasps. Tears well in her eyes, sudden and violent. She had forgotten how loud life was. The man presses his hands to his ears. Not because of pain, because of longing. The noise hurts, and it feels like home. No, the driver says firmly now. This isn't how it goes. He pulls at something unseen. The bus responds. Lights brighten. The hum steadies. The gray outside thickens again, trying to seal the cracks. The old man stands, slowly, deliberately. I wondered when someone would do this, he says. Everyone turns to him. I wondered when someone would want their weight back. The man stares. You said you regretted leaving, he says. The old man nods. I regretted returning, he corrects him. Silence falls. I came back lighter, the old man continues, but emptier. No anger, no guilt, no pain. He smiles sadly. No love either. The woman's breath catches. She understands. Anger wasn't just protection. It was proof she cared. The bus shudders harder. The driver looks back fully now. His face flickers. Young, old, broken, whole. You'll tear it apart, he says. Good, the boy answers. The bus screams. Not aloud. Internally, the hum becomes a roar. The floor vibrates violently. Outside, the gray splits. Through it, the bus stop appears. Clearer than ever before. The bench is cold. The timetable glows. One line burns brighter than the rest. You can still choose. The doors begin to open. Against the driver's will. Against the bus's design. The man feels the weight rush back. Regret. Desire. Ambition. It hurts. He almost collapses. But he doesn't sit. The woman sobs openly now. Anger returns. Hot, sharp, alive. She welcomes it. The boy steps forward. Every instinct screams at him to stop. He doesn't. The driver whispers, broken. If you leave, you won't be protected. The boy meets his eyes. I don't want protection, he says. I want my life. The doors are fully open now. Cold air rushes in. Real air. Messy air. The bus trembles on the edge of collapse. Behind the doors waits the bench. Empty. Patient. And for the first time since it was created, the bus faces something it was never built to survive. A passenger who chooses pain over silence. The first step off the bus feels wrong, not painful, not heavy, just unfamiliar. as if the ground itself is asking the boy, "Are you sure you remember how to stand?" Cold bites through his shoes, real cold. The kind that doesn't hum or glow or cushion itself. The kind that reminds you, your body is still here. Behind him no one moves. Not yet. The open doors breathe. Slow and uncertain. Like lungs that haven't been used in years. The driver doesn't stop him. He can't. His hands hang useless at his sides now. The wheel no longer listens. The boy turns around. The bus looks different from the outside. Older, rust traces the edges. Paint peels in places that weren't there before. It was never meant to be seen like this. The timetable flickers. Lines appear and vanish. Places that no longer exist. Times that never happened. Only one line stays solid. Now, the old man is the second to stand. He pauses at the top of the steps. For the first time since boarding, his back straightens. "I forgot how tall I was," he mutters. He steps down. His breath catches hard, as if his lungs are relearning gravity. He laughs. It sounds rough, broken, real. The woman rises next. Her hands shake violently. Anger boils under her skin again. Sharp, familiar. She doesn't wipe her tears. She lets them fall. "I don't know what I'll become," she says. More to herself than anyone else. "That's the point," the boy replies. She steps off. The moment her feet touch the ground, the gray around the stop pulls back further. A street lamp flickers on. The road gains cracks. Life leaks in through imperfections. Only one remains seated. The man. He stares at the floor. Face pale. Jaw tight. The weight has returned fully now. It is crushing him. "I'll fail again," he whispers. "No," the old man says gently. "You'll try again." The man laughs bitterly. "That's worse." The bus groans. Its frame bends inward, like a cage closing. The driver finally shouts, "If you stay forever." The words are not a threat. They are a rule. The man looks up. At the open door. At the bench. At the people who chose pain. He stands. Each movement costs him. Fear claws at his chest. Regret burns behind his eyes. Halfway down the steps, he stops. The driver meets his gaze. They look alike now. Too alike. "You built this," the man realizes. The driver says nothing. The man steps off. The moment he does, the bus screams. Metal twists. Lights explode. The hum dies in a choking gasp. The gray collapses inward, folding like fabric set on fire. The bus shrinks, cracks. Fragments of it peel away into nothing. The driver stumbles back. His shape blurs. He reaches out, desperate. "Someone has to drive," he pleads. "No," the boy says quietly. "Someone has to live." The bus vanishes, not explodes, not crashes. It simply isn't needed anymore. Silence falls. Not the hollow silence of before. The living kind. Wind in the trees. A distant engine. Footsteps somewhere unseen. They stand at the bus stop together. 4 strangers. No shelter. No schedule. No protection. The bench remains. Empty. Waiting for no one. Morning arrives without announcing itself. No sunrise. No dramatic shift. Just a thinning of darkness. As if the world hesitates before committing to light. The bus stop is still there. Not symbolic. Not fading. Real. The bench is cold enough now that it bites through clothing. Metal remembers the night better than people do. The boy sits first. Not because he is tired, but because standing suddenly feels optional again. Choice has weight. The old man remains on his feet. He stares down the road. Eyes narrowed. As if daring something to come take him back. "I expected more," he says. More noise. More meaning. The woman wraps her arms around herself. The anger inside her hasn't disappeared. It's quieter now, settled, like a blade returned to its sheath. I don't know where to go, she admits. Her voice cracks on the last word. That means you're early, the boy replies. She looks at him, confused. He shrugs. No one knows where to go at the beginning. The man kneels near the curb. Not praying, just breathing. Hard, each breath feels earned. I forgot how exhausting freedom is, he says. No one laughs. They all understand. Down the road something changes. Not sound, not light. Expectation. The air tightens. The old man straightens instantly. Do you feel that? He asks. Headlights appear. Distant, yellow, imperfect, real. A car, not a bus. Not waiting for anyone, just moving. The woman's heart races. Her body prepares for rejection without permission. It won't stop, she whispers. The car slows. Gravel crunches. The driver looks at them. 4 people standing where nothing should be. He hesitates, then stops. You all right? The driver asks. His voice is ordinary, and that's what makes it unbearable. The boy nods. Yes. The word feels huge. Need a ride? The driver asks. No promise. No schedule. No destination guarantee. The old man laughs. Softly, almost reverently. No, he says. The driver blinks, confused. The woman steps forward. Yes, she says immediately. Then stops. Turns back. Looks at the others. Her voice shakes. Maybe. The man rises slowly. He looks at the car. Then the road behind it. Then the empty bench. If I get in, he asks quietly, does that mean I chose right? The boy meets his eyes. No, he says. It means you chose something. The driver clears his throat. I can wait a minute, he says. Not kindly, not impatiently, just fact. The sky lightens further. Birds begin to test the air. Life resumes in fragments. They stand there. Not frozen, not trapped, but paused. The bus stop does nothing. It doesn't pull. It doesn't call. It doesn't judge. For the first time, it is truly empty. And that is when they realize leaving the bus was not the ending. It was permission. The woman moves first. She opens the back door. The smell inside hits her instantly. Fabric, dust, something sweet and old. Normal, painfully normal. She freezes. Her hand grips the door frame too tightly. What if this is worse? She whispers. No one answers right away. The road doesn't either. The old man steps closer but does not touch her. It probably will be, he says honestly. She laughs once, sharp and broken. Then she gets in. The door closes with a sound. That does not echo. That matters. The man follows. He hesitates longer. The space between curb and car feels wider than any distance he's crossed before. He looks back at the bench. It looks smaller now, less important. I used to think regret was heavy, he says. It isn't. Avoiding it is. He gets in. Only the boy remains. The driver watches him through the mirror. Curious, not afraid. You waiting for someone? The driver asks. The boy shakes his head. No, he says. I already left. He opens the door, pauses. The air behind him feels different. Thinner, as if the place is learning how to let go. The boy turns back once more. The bus stop stands silent. No glow, no pull, no expectation. Just a place that used to matter. He steps into the car. The door shuts. The driver puts the car in gear. The tires roll. The road accepts them without resistance. As they drive away, the woman looks out the window. The bus stop fades, not vanishing, just losing relevance, like a memory you no longer need to protect. The old man exhales deeply. His shoulders drop for the first time. I think, he says slowly, this is what happens when you stop waiting. The man stares ahead. What if we end up nowhere, he asks. The boy smiles faintly. Then at least we'll arrive. The road curves. Morning fully claims the sky now. Shops open. A cyclist passes. Life does not notice them, and that feels like mercy. Behind them, unseen, the bus stop empties completely. No bench, no sign, no shadow, not destroyed. The road doesn't announce the end. It never does. It just keeps going, until one moment quietly becomes another. The car turns off the main road. No reason given. No explanation asked for. The driver follows instinct. The way people used to, before they learned to fear wrong turns. They stop near a small cafe. Lights are on. Chairs are stacked wrong. Someone inside is arguing with a radio. Life, imperfect and loud. The driver turns around. "This is as far as I go," he says. Not apologetic, not final, just true. They step out one by one. The woman stretches her fingers, as if reminding herself she still owns them. The man squints at the sky. Too blue, too open. It scares him. The old man lingers by the car. "Do you know," he says softly, "why the bus never followed?" The driver shrugs. "Because it couldn't," the old man answers himself. "It only went where people stopped wanting more." The boy looks down the road they came from. There is no bus stop, no bench, no sign. Even the idea of it feels distant now, like a dream that dissolves. The moment you try to explain it, they stand there, 4 people, with no shared past and no shared plan. The woman breaks the silence. "I'm angry," she says. No shame, no apology. The old man smiles. "Good." The man nods slowly. "I'm afraid," he admits. The boy answers gently. So is everyone who's alive. The cafe door opens. Warm air spills out. Someone calls, "You coming in or what?" They exchange looks. No dramatic agreement. No speech. They just move. Inside, the noise is immediate. Cups clink. Someone laughs too loudly. Someone drops something and swears. Time moves forward again. Careless and unstoppable, the boy sits last. He listens, to voices overlapping, to life refusing to pause for him. For a moment, he thinks of the bus, of the quiet, of how easy it would have been to stay protected forever. Then the woman nudges him. "You okay?" she asks. He nods. "Yes," he says. And this time, it doesn't feel like a promise. Outside, the road stretches on. Not waiting, not guiding, just existing. And somewhere far away, in a place no longer needed, the idea of an empty bus stop finally lets go.